So why reveal all this to me if you can simply slay me and get what you want? Why speak to me at all, you say? Personally, I would have exploited the element of surprise better. Demonstrate the futility of your positions, says Narissa. Nuxis is simply too powerful and clever to be defeated by you or anyone else in this world. Surrender to her. She takes up from a small, it's probably poison or something. She takes from a satchel a small vial and holds it up. Drink. What does that do? Make me fall asleep? Reginald looks at the vial and scratches his chin. No, that one will definitely kill you. What? What kind of bargain is that? You say. A pleasant one, says Narissa. The drug will ease your mind even as the poison does its work. I heard that it is quite pleasant for those undead I spoke to afterwards. I've had some bad offers in my life, but this is definitely the worst, you say. After you have answered our questions, we will test you gently to make sure you are not the one, but I promise no undue harm will come to your soul. I'll send it on to its proper destination, whatever that is, says Narissa. Definitely preferable to the alternative, says Reginald. The alternative, you say without, you probably shouldn't ask. If you will not surrender to us, then it will be Ghost that comes for you. Although he knows mercy, Neruddle does not. You have proven yourself to be capable. Your soul must be tasted and perhaps even crushed, just to be sure, says Narissa. Also, there is Reginald motioning to the headless corpse of the queen. She's not going to be happy about that. Maybe you could give me a head start, you say. I have been given this before under similar. He won't listen, says Narissa, cutting you off. The chamber brightens as the scrying stone flashes. A moment later, and Reginald and Narissa is gone. The great doors of the chamber groan on massive hinges as they slam shut. Teleport us out, you say to Agra. I cannot, she says. You sprint to the stairway, leading to the platform, supposedly the teleportation circle. Leaving up the stairs 3 at a time. Teleport, you shout. You stand within the circle of stone-carved runes. The circle has been deactivated, says Agra. Ethereal, you say. Go ethereal. This chamber is locked down from planar travel, says Agra. Her voice seems unconcerned. You turn, preparing to spring down the stairs and to the door. These heaviest doors likely won't budge, but you see no other exit. Maybe with a lightning bolt. Down below, Maya's corpse stirs for a moment and then leaps up onto her feet like an acrobat. Tilts her head as she stares at you with dead eyes. All is silent but the crack of her neck. We should lightning bolt that, you say to Agatha. That's definitely no ordinary zombie. Nimbly, Maya snaps her fingers and a low hum starts up, probably a shield. It is as though she reads your mind. Nuxius, you ask? She says nothing as she waves her hand. The large double doors swing open and 3 people spring into the chamber. One of them is recognized as the Duke, the other as the Renova, and the final one, the elderly woman you spotted before. All of them, even the old woman, move in a lethally predatory manner. Surely they're all vampires. Renova, it's good to see you again, you call to her. She says nothing. Her merciless eyes are locked on you. You want to say something friendly and maybe funny, but you're too distracted by the other vampires are fanning out there as they approach like wolves. Meanwhile, the floor rumbles and there is a great hissing sound. A second later, the huge undead dragon fills the entrance to the chamber and slithers through. It would have been better for you if you had taken the offer, says Maya, whose undead body you presume is being controlled by Nuxius. I cannot leave you uncrushed. There's going to be a fight, there's no doubt. The longer you wait, the better prepared they will be. You must act. You cannot beat this odd, but maybe something else can. I will need to become something powerful again, Agra, you say. Indeed, she says. Against such an evil, something good would be nice. A few options jump into your mind. First, you think of a good. You think of a celestial, also known as an angel. You don't know much about these creatures, but you do understand that they are powerful. Of course, a powerful chivalrous knight could be effective too, easier for you to relate to, especially since you know how to use a blade yourself. On the other hand, if you're looking for pure strength, there's a storm giant. Not only do you know these tough, good creatures are powerful and tough, they also throw mighty lightning bolts. Finally, there's the golden dragon option, an ancient gold dragon. You're pretty sure even Goldtrend was an ancient. Outside of the gods, you know nothing of more powerful. But Celestial sounds good, a Great Knight sounds good, but I'm just gonna go for something that takes a lot of favor. I'm just guessing that's the best option, so let's do the best one with the most favor. Your body vibrates violently as you grow in height and feel your body stretch and lengthen. Huge wings open up on your peripheral vision as does the shadow of a large snout. Vampire snarl as they fan out and close in while Select charges. If you're going to strike many enemies at the same time, breathe fire, you think. Whoosh, the volume and heat of fire is cone blasting out of your mouth is terrific. You center much of your blast upon the charging dragon, but then strafing over to catch the vampires. As the flames clear, you see Swalak rolling on the floor, attempting to extinguish the fire and that have engulfed his mummified skin. Ironova is on the floor too, raised in fire. Another vampire, perhaps that had been the elderly woman, is but a burnt husk. Now, the only reason I did not wish to be something big, because vampires are fast. That's the only reason I didn't want to do that, but I guess this works. Left increases 2, morale increases 1. There's a pain on your side. You look down to see Duke, his fang gleaming, drawing his sword from your flank and prepared for another strike. With amazing speed, you leap back, avoid the strike. You swipe him with your one mighty claw, nicking him, but your razor claws rip through his armor with ease, opening his chest. Gore pours out as he falls to the knees. You strike like a snake, biting down on his head, crushing it like a crunchy grape. With the lash of your long tail, you send the limp body of the Duke scaling through the air. El Elestrana, comes a booming voice, and a wave of power slams into you, knocking you flat onto the floor. As you come to a moment later, you're in a native body, the muscles burning. You press up onto your feet. Undead Maya is only a few meters away. Her hand is up, and crackling energy dances between her sprayed fingers. Submit, she says. Your magic is feeble compared to my own. You suck in deep breath, trying to recover. You feel like you just got rolled over by a cargo wagon. Looking around, you no longer see any of your other enemies. Where Swelak went, you cannot even guess. Undead Maya seems confident, though. Evidently, she is not afraid to fight you one-on-one. If you submit by your own will, I will but crush your soul, as little as she will allow, says Maya. Otherwise, I cannot control her anger. Suddenly, lose control of your body. You feel like you're now only a passenger within yourself. This has happened before a few times. Before it's Agra. You don't like when she takes over, but you have a strong feeling that you're out of your depth now. Tempting, but no thanks, you say. Maya shakes her head sadly as a terrible, bright bolt shoots forth from her hand, straight at you. The bolt disappears with a whisper a few meters from your face. Maya eyebrows raise. You feel the hum take place. It seems you shrink a little, perhaps an inch or so. Your shoulders broaden, your muscle tighten. Maya fires another bolt. This one is a torrent of black bolt. All of them disappear before striking you. Maya stares at you, her eyes wide and her jaw drops. What mockery is this? Not a mockery, but a reunion, one that is thousands of years overdue, you say, without your will. Flareon or Bryson, you say, she says, impossible. Wait, what? Wait, Flareon or Bryson, where the hell did he show up? Because there's our character and there's fucking Agra. Were we actually Flareon or Bryson? I've taken the form of Neryl's lost love, you realize. You nod and wordless. Lie, you lie, shouts Maya. You're not real. Do I not look real, you say? She stares at you, then her body goes limp, falls to the floor, and before she even comes to rest, you can see that she's but a corpse again. The hair on your arm stand up for a moment, then you see Anuxis appear above you on the teleportation platform. He's staring down at you. Do not pretend, he says, as he lowers down to the floor. It cannot be. You tried to deceive me earlier, and then you fled. Flareon or Bryson would not have done that. You have changed much, my Jinn. You say, I saw deception as the only way near you. Anuxis shakes his head, and now you seek to deceive me again. He snaps his finger. His body suddenly shortens slightly as he morphs into a beautiful woman. You recognize her immediately as Neryl, as she looks just like her corpse. That is, before you mangled it. If you love me, then die, says Neryl, nodding towards the sword in your hand. Slit your throat. Your soul will not escape this chamber. If you are my beloved, then I will know, and we shall be together for eternity. Her voice is strong, but there is something in her eyes that is like fear, or maybe it's hope. Well, that's the bargain again, you think. Very interesting. You laugh without willing it, as you certainly don't think there's anything funny going on. My Jinn, Vervid of my heart, Queen of my soul, would you have me die yet again, you say. Veneral sneers. To know the names used for me in private, it does not prove anything. That knowledge could be found. Yes, my queen, it could be known by another, one in particular. I'm sure you remember him, you say. Her face turns ashen. Bahal, she says. You feel a wide smile open upon your face. You tried to find him too, you never did. The demon lord Bahal was crushed thousands of years ago, says Nerul. You ask, who told you that? Was it one of your slaves? Maybe this one? Suddenly you transform again, shortening. Breasts bulge out from your chest as your arms and legs become slimmer and more feminine. Your nails lengthen, wings sprout from your back and push into your peripheral vision. You've taken the form of a succubus. Is it Azazel? Was it a servant, Creasy, the beast? Who told you that story, you ask? Is it not interesting how she went missing too? Nil grits her teeth, her eyes bulging. No, it cannot be. Did it not ever occur to you that Flareon, beloved, and the Bahal, the demon lord, the one you sold your soul to, were the same? Did it never occur to you that there was never a Flareon or Bryson, that it was me the whole time? You grow in size and your muscles bulge. Your skin takes on a reddish tinge as your legs turn long and spindly. 6-inch horn spouts from your back of your hands. Nerul looks at you. Her eyes have no hope now, only fear or perhaps dread. Jinn, my love, it is I, Bahal. You have found me at last, you say. Shakes her head emphatically. I had sold my soul to Bahal for his aid in this world. Why would he release my soul, the most precious thing I could give, to free a soul that never existed? Because lost love, true love, is pain. Pain begets more pain, you say. I let you have your soul so that you could do fantastically terrible things, all in pursuit of love that never was. You lie, she says. You lie, she repeats. Yes, I do, all the time, but sometimes it's even more fun to tell the truth, you say, your voice now gloating. No, she says, you lie. I must keep control. She presses her hand against the sides of her head as her eyes roll in her socket. You are a goddess, you say. The ashes of one, at least. You know the truth when you hear it. No, shouts Nerul. Countless years and soul crushing, all for nothing. This is getting dark for Agra. You say, laughing heartily. Liar. No, she screams in a voice rising far higher than your now ravenous laughter. She wraps her arms around her head, kneels down. The massive chamber begins to shake like a quake. The tingling inside and your stomach lurches as you feel a teleport take hold. Next thing you see is the battlefield, wasteland of pulverized ruins. Only in the distance are there still more buildings intact. More or less, you stand beside the discarded battering ram in the shadow of the Temple of Eternal Love. Just past dawn, the sun paints the sky orange, meddling with the fires burning on the battlefield. Near the temple where you are, the ground is decisively uncontrolled by undead hordes of zombies. The faster moving ghoul groans as they roam about, as though looking for prey. Many of them are raised from demon corpses, making them all more fearsome thanks to their natural weapon claws, fangs, and horns. A few of the undead have fresh kills that they are feasting on. However, there is no sign of living nearby. Thankfully, the undead ignore you. Your amulet must still be effective against these ones. Nothing like an existential crisis to break one's concentration, says Egra. You're not sure what that term means, but you imagine it has to do with her titanic lie. Or was it a lie? Good thing since that shield and teleportation lock was rather strong, continues Egra. It's Egra's voice. Well, is it Egra at all? Have you been deceived this whole time by a demon? What do you think, champion? She says, evidently reading your mind. This is the trickster who calls herself Egra. Although demons seem to be fond of possession, much like Egra does, there's a few events that simply do not add up for this to be a demon. At the top of your mind, the paladin's sword, even with powerful magic, could a demon-possessed man wield a blade of Aletheia and make it blaze with holy light? This seems doubtful. Meanwhile, although Egra, has not exactly proven herself to be good, she has consistently been a trickster. You could imagine that could even fool a holy sword. I believe you are the trickster, Egra. Although I'd wager you are the sword that has many names. As do you, she says. We, the interesting ones, cannot be constrained to a single name. A surge of warmth pushes up through your body. Thinking of the paladin's sword reminds you that you shouldn't be very far from where your stupid zombie self left it. Scan the grounds looking for landmarks. You try to aid you in narrowing it down. Unfortunately, the ground is absolutely covered in rubble, body parts, and of course weapons. There you see the Alethean sword, hilt is sticking up as though it wants to be found by you. Looks like I put you in the right spot. The least I could do for you, champion, says Egra. So you did that bit about Flareon never existing, just to break the concentration allowed to escape. What's the point of ever going in there? You shall see, says Egra. You're getting a little tired of Egra's games. These games favor her, but do they favor you and the ones you care about? Meanwhile, you are the one who is taking all the risk. Can you trust her? Do you trust her? Yes, enough to continue with her. Yes, enough to continue with her. That is true. I don't trust her. Absolutely. Egra has given you power thus far and allowed you to do amazing things. Together you can do more. I trust you, Egra. Why cannot you trust me? You say. What game are you playing? As I said, you shall soon see, says Egra, her voice becoming urgent, but you had best see from a safe hiding place. The urgency of her voice is obvious. You run. Quickly you find a reasonable hiding place beneath steepled ruined walls atop other ruins, affording you a decent view of the battlefield. Beyond the zone of undead that you're in, the first thing you notice is the light of Aletheia emanating from the phalanx of heavily armored paladins, perhaps 50 of them. They stand in tight formation, motionless as though waiting. You hope Maiden Abyss is among them. Opposite these paladins, perhaps 50 meters away, is another orderly line. Only these are of devils. Standing shoulder to shoulder, they are fiends of an inferno of burning armor. Behind these stormtroopers are much larger devils. Their huge horns reflecting in the morning sun. What are they waiting for? Devils and Alethean paladins should be tearing each other apart, you say, and swell the ranks of the undead, their common enemies, says Egra. As you know by now, devils are not demons, and although the views of devils and Alethean differ on many matters, both understand the power of discipline and strategy. It appears they have a truce until Egra's sentence trails off and she has become silent. Until what? Egra laughs as a horn blares from the ranks of the paladins. The phalanx of the paladins pivot from the devils towards you. The temple and the devil also turns towards you until they realize the shield is down, says Egra. It seems to be about now. Sure enough, both the Alethean and devils are begin charging in your direction, straight towards the massive cauldron of undead. The paladins and the devil continue to keep their distance from each other as they advance in parallel. Are they cooperating, you ask? That would be amazing, but I doubt it is. But I doubt it, says Egra. They simply know that there is little to be gained by destroying each other before reaching their prize. Your attention is drawn to a giant knight in a silver gore-splattered armor that has charged to the front of the Alethean charge. The man is perhaps 12 meters tall and wields a massive warhammer. That's no hill giant, you think? That's Haznir, the son of Unum. god of law, says Agra. Predictably, he has allied with the Lathians.